All right. So I hope my voice is clear. Anyone having any issue with voice? It's clear, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay. So, and one more thing here is I hope everyone hears for data factory detailed. Anyone here who is looking for a Power BI or MS or other tools? So
This covers a complete Azure BI, right? Not only ADF, right?
yeah,
I
it is
mean, like,
completely Azure BI.
yeah.
It is
I mean, you'll cover Synapse and Databricks kind of stuff. So,
complete Azure BI stuff.
okay.
So we are not covering the other modules. So that is what I'm asking. If anyone here who is just looking for Power BI or MSBA, so please let me know. So that will be upcoming sessions. For now, this is completely for Azure Data Factory. Purely more we are focusing on Azure Data Factory rather than other services.
You will cover the basic stuff of Azure Synapse and Azure Databricks. And
Everything I'll give you the course content. So
okay,
just give me some time. Let me go into the demo. I'll give you course content, the material. You can go through that. If that is flexible or fitting in your requirement, you can join. Okay. Just give me some time. I'll clear your doubts. Once our session is complete, I'll give you some time. You can ask your questions. Okay. So just be with me next to
yeah,
1 hour. After that, whatever the doubts or questions are there, I'll give you some time. You can ask me. And also, I'm going to share you the course content, the recording, and material. And you can go through that also. Okay, we have prepared material. Whatever you want, you can go through this one. So there is a 40 hours session. This is whatever you are required that is fitting for your requirement. You can go through it. Data lake, data warehouse, data lake analytics, data factory, the other requirements. You can check. Okay. All right. So just give me some time, guys. So any doubts are there, please keep it with you. I'll answer your all your doubts once the class is complete. End of the class, I'll give you your doubts or your answers, whatever you are. Okay. All right. So this is completely a purely data factory course and including the Azure BI, including the Azure BI. So we are not only focusing on for data factory, also we are focusing or targeting for Azure Data Engineer. There is certification for TP203 Azure Data Engineer. For that also you can prepare with this course. Okay. So most on Azure BIs, they are requesting or asking for data factory. So mostly we will be focusing if it is our course is 40 days course or 45 days course. In that we were mostly focusing on around 20 to 22 days or 25 days. We are mostly focusing on this data factory. So complete detail level we are going to discuss about data factory. This may be extend to 45 days or 50 days or maybe it extends to 20 to 25 days. We are going to discuss about data factory more focusing on. Okay, because there's a highly requirement jobs. I'll show you some offer letters. I'll show you the packages, how much they are expecting, how much they are giving it. In the next demo, that is a practical session. This is only I'm going to take as a theoretical session. I know there are some people who are from different backgrounds. So for them, I'm just taking about what is BI, what is the process, how really it works in the company, what are the requirements, what company are looking at. So these are all details we're going to discuss about today's session, completely detail level. And this is theoretical session for today. There is no practical. Whatever we're discussing today, that all I'm going to show you as a practically in tomorrow's class. Okay, tomorrow we are only discussing about practical, how really this tool works, how company That tool will help to the company business to get the desired formats data that I'll show in tomorrow's class. For time being, let's understand first what is BI, then we'll understand the process. If you understand this BI process, you can jump any of the tool in the market. If you heard, there are a lot of tools in the market. As I told you, there's a different tools we have. MSBI, again there are different modules, ETL module, reporting module, analysis module. Again there are different tools, Cognos BI, Tableau BI, ClickView. So if I give you, there are a lot of tools we have in the market. Why all these tools are not using currently people, or very less requirement on these tools? Why there are a lot of tools on Microsoft products? So these all are Microsoft products, user-friendly products. So the same thing, whatever we are using, these all are on-premises tools. On-premises tool, we call traditional tools. Traditional tools. Now we are into the some modern data tool is required to process a big data, to process any format of data. Whatever we are using, these tools are traditional. That is only the structured data till that we can process. But nowadays, there's a market for artificial intelligence. We don't know which kind of data we are going to get. So, before going to this any of the tool, first you need to understand the process, BI process. So, what is the BI process? If you understand this BI process, you can jump in the market any of the tool. Okay, then we'll see what is the Azure and what are the different types of clouds. Does anyone know what is BI process? What we do in BI or what we do in the BI process? Anyone?
We take the raw data and visualize in Power BI.
We take large data, visualize. Okay. Only for visualization. How you get the data?
I mean, we can use the ETL process like extract, transform, and load, and then model it, data model there, and then visualize. And once we publish, they can easily visualize up there from the user's perspective.
We can process the data from any system to any system and transform data and give it. The target data might be used for reporting or for other systems, databases loading, anything you can do. You can do it with other systems.
All right. Any other points? Yes. So definitely at last we got as a visualizations. There is no point. So here is definitely we do for reporting. That is one of the important point, reports. So report required. So see, any companies when they start whatever or business they start, business people what they required? They required to analyze or to take some decisions. Business people to take some decisions on business. What they require? They need to do some analysis, right? How analysis will be done? So through some reports. Reports may be a different visualization, different formats. And what reports contain? Reports contain some data. And data from where you are getting? Data may be any format. It may be a structured format. It may be a semi-structured format. It may be a unstructured format. Who is providing this data? The data or before data may be any format. So that format we are converting into proper information. that information will use, or that information you're going to place in the report. That report will be used for analysis. That analysis, once you get some analysis, you're going to take some decision on business. So this is some process, like how it is working on. So any company or any business, when they start, definitely you require data analyst or BA developer. So they cannot directly do the analysis. They cannot take directly decisions until unless they do some analysis. How analysis will be done? Through reports. What reports contain? Information. What information contain? Data. Data may be in any format. It may be a structured format, it may be a raw format, it may be a coded format. So till you deliver the report, till they take analysis, BI developers are required, BI process is required. You cannot give a proper information. So our role till give a proper information, we are going to work as a BI process. To provide a proper information, a BI developer is required. So BI developer, what these people they do, whatever the format comes or whatever the data comes from different sources, it not only one source, it may be a different sources system. One is hosted in USA, one is hosted in Excel, one is hosted in data lake, one is hosted in whatever the source it is. They extract the data, they extract the data, they place the data in somewhere, they analyze that in proper way, in proper information. It may be structure, semi-structure, unstructured. They'll convert it into proper information through your ETL process. Then that data will be provided to the business team in a form of information. So let's take basic example how really it works. I'll show some basic process. If you heard or if you see here, generally when you take any supermarket, okay, just basic example I'm giving you. If you see, let's take one example, supermarket, anything, DMart, Walmart, anything. What we are doing here, it is a some kind of they are selling some products in their market. What they do, they will sell some products. The products may be anything. It may be your normal products, it may be your other products. Customer will come to their market and they'll try to purchase some products. What happens when you do some billing? If you remember, if you do some billing, there will be having some application at front end. It is developed in Java, .NET, C#. What is that application? It is a billing application. So if somebody purchases a product, they do some billing. What is the price? What is the quantity? What is the discount amount? What is the sales amount? This all they're going to capture in the system. This is all they're going to capture in one system. What happened? You are the business owner. You are sitting at last. You are some business background. You're not know the technical things. You are only business background. You are the owner of the company. You want to analyze the data. So you want to know whether my business is going high or business going on down. I want to analyze it. I require a report. So these people, what they do, they will only look for high level of information. They never see what is the customer, which product is purchased, what product is purchased. They'll never see how much revenue generated. They only see high level of information like daily based data, daily sales, weekly, monthly, or specific product wise. This how they're going to analyze the data. So in case if it is not going high or business is going down, they will start doing some promotions. So they required, when they invested a lot of money on the business, they need to know how business is running. So to generate this report, we require proper information. Information contain a data. Data may be different format, and that format is coming from different sources. So it is not simple to generate the report. Yes, definitely, as a report developer, They doesn't have any work. They work on visualizations. How this data they will generate? Who is providing the data? So now this ETL or data factory developers will come into the picture. Till they provide in proper information. Once you provide a proper information, once you provide proper data, then reporting developer will work to develop in the visualizations. So until unless you provide these developers, until unless they don't provide the data, what you people going to do? So that is what nowadays the requirement on interviews also they are asking ETL along with some reporting knowledge. Without that, they are not having interview in India currently. That is the situation in India. Because when you don't have data, you don't have any work, what these people they do only one-time development report. And you are going to host this report somewhere, you are going to deliver every day. What is your work? Until unless there is some changes in the report, you cannot work. So compulsory, you need to have knowledge on ETL, any of the ETL, either it is the SSIS, either it is the data factory, either the informatica. Okay, now let's see here the picture. So once they require a report, what they want a report to analyze the data or to take some decisions. So how is they going to take decisions? Until unless you give some report or data, they cannot take the decisions. So guys, the paintbrush is enabled, right?
Yeah, we are able to.
Okay. All right. So what we are going to do now? See here. So let's suppose this data, whatever your data you are storing, once you submit the button or once your billing is done, what happened? It is going to submit or it's going to save that information under one system. There is one system. Under that the system is nothing but one of the type of storage. That information will store under one specific storage account. This is my storage account. So this whatever information you are submitting it, you cannot store all the data in the system. There's a millions and transactions are there. Daily based customers comes. So depend upon the budget, they maybe use files, they maybe use the cloud storages, yeah, like your data lake, like your blob storage, or maybe use the databases like your SQL, like Oracle, or maybe use some other storages, on-premises storages, or maybe use some files or some other Excel, CSV, JSON, whatever they want, they can. So depend upon the company to company. So if you see earlierly, if you see 15 or 10 years back in the bank, whatever the transactions you are doing it, you have to take some passbook and you have to go for entry because immediately it will not seen in the account. There was no live server earlier, but now whatever the transactions you do, immediately it will affect in your live server. This is we call as live server. We call as OLTP. Please mute your mics. So this is something called a live server, OLTP servers. That means online transaction. Whatever you do, the submit immediately with the connectivity, some ODBC, some there, JDBC, some connectivities are there. So based on that, it will get posted that data into your live server. And then you can, these people, what they can do, they can hire a SQL developer. He will write a query for you, whatever the query is there, product data, and he will fetch the data from this live server. It will deliver that result, whatever is there. He will put in the Excel, he will share. That one approach he can do. But they want to analyze last 5 years of data. 5 years of data they want. In the live server, we cannot store max to max 1 day data, 1 week data, max to max 1 week data. We can store our 10 days, not more than that, because every day we get a millions of records. The reason because when you do some DML operations like insert, update, customer details update, or delete, so when you do this kind of operations, It takes longer time when you apply some millions of transactions. So that is what in everyday live data, we only maintain one data, 2 days, maximum 1 week, not more than that. After that, they'll move somewhere. So now what we want to analyze years of data, 5 years of data. So that data also every day I want to get. So now this BA picture will come into this one. So this is something called BA process. What we do, whatever the data is there, we don't want to sit. See, when you are doing a query, when system is not running, let's suppose your morning, your store is started 8 a.m. and it is closing at 9 p.m. After 9 p.m. only you have to analyze your queries. Until unless you cannot write a query here, you cannot fire the query, because if you try to fire a query, that resource will occupy here and the other operations cannot be performed until unless this is complete. So that is what we are making some individually, some independent process. Whatever the live data is there, whatever the data is there. See, SQL Server, you can do it. Directly you can get a data and you can place it. But how the files are there, JSON file is there, Excel file is there, data is in the blob storage, data in the data lake storage. How are you going to analyze? Each country wise they are storing. India they are storing in the files. USA they are storing in the some other. Canada the people are storing in the blob storages. I want to contain, I want to see the result here, country wise data. Country wise, I want to see the data. How much counts for India? How much transactions generated for USA, UK? So that cannot be possible easily. So that is what, whatever the data is stored in the live server, we are going to call here as ETL developer. What this ETL developer will do, they will extract this data, whatever the format is there, they will extract the data and they will process our data. They will clean in proper way, in a proper information, and they will dump the data in one centralized system. The centralized system we are calling here as data warehouse system or OLAP system. This is nothing but your OLAP system, or you can call here as data warehouse system. So this is your on-premises ETL tool. We have SSIS for on-premises ETL tool. The same way nowadays, if you see, they are using ADF ETL for cloud. But the process is same: extraction, transformations, and a loading part. And finally, we are going to load over data on daily basis here. So this is we call readable data. Readable data here. And this is only for analysis used. We are not doing any delete operations. Here maybe you do insert and update. You can read and write operations. But here only read operations. On here is the historical data. We call historical data we store. Millions of records on daily basis we store. When you are going to store? When the store is closed, when the system is idle, that time I'm going to schedule 10 p.m. Automatically, which extract the data from different sources. It will process them. It will remove the unwanted records. It will remove the bad records. It will clean those data in a proper information. That proper information, that information we are storing in a form of data, structured data. It may be different formats. JSON is the same structure. On-premises is a structure. Other is coming from unstructured. That all different format data we are converting into proper information, and everyday data we are storing it here. Today 100 records is received, 100 records we are loading. Tomorrow again you'll get, we are loading it. So then this users will come into the picture. Report developers. Any report developer, it may be a Power BI report developer, it may be a Tableau, it may be a Cognos, it may be SSRS. Now these people, what they do? Instead of writing manual query, instead of running manual query, what these people they do? They'll simply take this query, they'll put it in the report. That simple it is. Instead of doing writing manually, they'll take this query and they'll keep inside the report. What is report means? Report is nothing but your, whatever it may be, tool. It may be your SSRS, it may be your Power BI, it may be other tools. They will keep that query inside the report. Whenever you run the report, instead of running manually through SSMS, whenever somebody is open this report in Power BI, they'll simply execute that query in the server. Whenever somebody open the report, what is report content? Query. That query will hit to the tables. And in the response, it will show you some data. So here your millions and billions of records you have in data warehouse. This is centralized, we call it data repositories, big data, the big repositories. So all country data you have. If I run this query, it takes longer time again, because these people will not wait this much of time. If I run this query also, it takes 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. These people doesn't have that much of time to wait for result. So to improve the next level, we are using one more process called data marts. So whatever specific data you require for reporting, whether you want transaction data, you want summary data, so that specific separate DBs we are creating it. This is we call as data marts. Whether you want to do reporting only on UK data, whether you want to do only reporting on USA data or UK data or any other region data. So you no need to pick complete region. If you want to pick only UK, pick that UK only data and do the reportings. But here also we required ETL developers. Here also you required data factory developers to load this data in the data marts. In case some companies they maintain a cubes. Let's suppose like your JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Henkel companies, those are business companies. Those have a full kind of business data, inventories data, Scott data, online data. So these all they maintain in one multi-dimensional format. Again, here also we required ETL developers. So this cube is used for to perform aggregate. You no need to write a queries. It is already predefined aggregate. It already calculated the measure values. You just need to drag and drop this data. This is also database. This is a special kind of database which is having aggregate data. It is having calculated data. You can apply some logics, but again we required ETL developers. So some companies, if they don't afford this, they'll go with a summary databases. They'll maintain summary. Whatever data is there, they will maintain a separate DB only for summarized data, which can be done reporting. Whatever, if you have 1 million CR record, same data they'll do aggregate and they maintain 1K minimum record. So whatever data is there, they'll again load in the same way here, or they can directly load from data warehouse to here. Again, we require ETL developer, data factory developer is required. So this is the places where we are going to extract the data with the different formats, and then we are converting into proper information, and proper information will be divided into different categories. And wherever you have posted the data, you loaded the data, then this reporting developer can extract the data from different databases, different sources, which having a centralized data. If I ask these people, report developers, to pick all countries data, if they don't have this centralized, then they have to go and pick from source. And they cannot do that level of modeling. In the reporting also, people are saying we can do data modeling. Data modeling is nothing but you have to join some different tables, you have to perform some other things, you have to apply some aggregations, and you have to perform one-to-one relationships. You cannot easily done in the reporting level because data is different formats. Reporting people or any Power BI or any Cognos, these all are only for reporting, only for visualization, not for ETL part. They don't do any ETL. They don't do ETL. They only do extract You can extract the data from here and you can transform them. Transform in unwanted data you don't require, filter data you don't require. You can just do filtration, not apart from that. So to achieve this report, these people what they do again, once you extract, instead of doing manually, they have a cloud things in the Power BI. So they will host this report to the cloud. Instead of user coming to this one, they will host their reports here and user will go and pick this report from here. So to start the business, we required the BI developer. Wherever the business start, we required this BI end-to-end process. This is a process until you get the report delivered. At background, this is what happening it. Any company you take, this is what background is happening. This is completely on-premises setup. You require systems, you require physical storages, you require ETL tools. So that is what Microsoft come across. So for small projects or any kind of project, what they are doing, instead of purchasing each and every component, to purchase a storage account, to purchase a ETL tool, to purchase a data warehouse accounts, or to purchase a data marts. So Microsoft come across with a concept called cloud. They implemented the concept called cloud. What they are saying, if you purchase a on-premises setup or Windows operating system, it will cost you very high if you purchase. If you purchase a storage account, a separate team is required. Dedicatedly has to work on those storages account. And that storage account also you have to maintain in on-premises and separate team is required for that. And that also it has to maintain separate temperature in specific degree. You have to maintain that storage account. If something is happened, the data will corrupt it. Let's suppose you have maintaining 250 GB currently, example, 250 GB you stored. And tomorrow, if you want to increase the space, it is not easily possible. Yes, definitely you can increase the space, but the problem here is whether that system, let's suppose if you want to increase 500 GB, you cannot do easily. Either you can take the external hard disk, or if you keep that same, if you try to increase external also 500 GB, whether that system will support that architecture 500 GB or not. Example, I am saying in real time we have 100 of TVs. That system will support or not, we don't know. If system is not supported that extended hard disk, then it will be a issue. System will get slowed down, system having performance issues, other things. So what Microsoft suggested is you no need to purchase any kind of products. They are having a free products. That means they're asking you to don't purchase any kind of license. They are providing you the license and they are providing you the all kind of products in the cloud. If you want ETL tool, they'll provide the ETL tool. If you want SQL Server, you don't need to purchase SQL Server. SQL Server license very costly in real time. You have enterprise editions, you have evaluation editions, you have express editions. So it is a license based and key based pricing it will charge. But here you don't need to pay anything. You don't need to pay any license cost. How much storage you are storing it, pay amount. How many times you are running the data factory, ETL packages. If you're running how many times, pay only that. If you're not using the system in the night times, don't pay it. How much space you are storing it, pay only that amount only. How much data lake storages you are using it, pay that amount only. So they're introduced with a cloud, they introduced with a store name called Azure. They're asking you to come to the store, come to the cloud and purchase any kind of products. And that product also pay as you go. Pays as you go. How much you are using it, pay amount that much only. You don't need to pay extra. If you are not using, don't pay it. So this is we call as public cloud. Anyone can come and anyone can access this cloud. This is we call as public cloud. Okay, like this we have different type of clouds. So generally when you see in the company level, what happens? Let's suppose this is my company. I'm working for IBM, let's example. And you have a databases, you have a servers, and you want to access in your local system. This is your system, your local computer. You want to access that system or SQL server. What happened? You cannot connect. Why you cannot connect? Until unless you have a private network here. We call as VPN, virtual private network. You have to first connect to the VPN. You have to connect first as a this network VPN. Then only this network, once you authorized that you are the domain person. Okay, once you authorized you are the domain person. Let's suppose any company that add the domain ibm.com, or they'll add in your Azure Active Directory or some other directories, they'll add it your name. With that name, if you connect it to this VPN, if that authorized, it is there in the domain, then only you can able to connect these services. So this is something called only within the organizations, within the company level can able to access. This is called as private cloud. But our cloud is public. Our cloud is public. Anyone wants to connect, they can purchase the license. I mean, they can have account and they can access any kind of service, data lake, data factory, data breaks, whatever they want, they can. Just they required one internet, one access. Yes, definitely here also you have a security. There's no point, there's no security. We also have a security, proper security. Even though it is public cloud, even though it is you have leaked your user ID and password, still we have a security levels. Here we have a security as in the form of VPN, there we have a some authorized. So in some cases, people are using the hybrid cloud. In what way hybrid cloud is used? Let's suppose I want to store my data in on-premises only. In on-premises only I want to store my data. Let's suppose my DRDO defense data. But some sort of services, ETL tools like data factory tools, I want to use from cloud. So what I am doing, I want to get the tool, data factory tool. I want to work and the data I want to store in the on-premises. My data I don't want to store in the cloud. Here I don't want to store. I'm going to extract this data from data lake or data bricks or wherever it is. I'm going to extract this data through data factory and some sort of service I'm using from on-premises. So some services we are using on-premises, some services using from cloud. That is nothing but the hybrid cloud, the combination of private and public. Because these are some important data. At the end of the day, if you see this Azure product also from USA company. So I don't want to maintain my defense data in the this Azure level in cloud. So those information or those kind of architecture we call as hybrid cloud. Some sort of services from on-premises, some sort of services from cloud. Okay, these are the three type of clouds we're going to discuss again. Don't worry, these are the service. These are the services we are going to discuss again practically. Whatever I displayed, you're going to see the practically. So, see, this is your high level of picture. Business people, they doesn't understand what is happening at background. What these people they do, they don't know what is data mart, they don't know data warehouse, ETL tool, they don't know how to connect, they don't know what is the process, they don't know. So that is what will show them as a high level picture. This is your high level picture. So this high level picture, what we do, we tell them that this is the sources which is coming from different regions, different sources are there. We extract them, we transform them, we'll put in the pipeline, we'll clean the data, Then followed by we load this data into different sources, different targets. Then Power BI team, what they do, once you have a data, these people will connect their reportings, they'll connect their visualizations to this data. They will fetch the data and they'll present this data in different formats. This is high level visualizations. If you go data factory only, internal picture, technical picture, you will find like this technical picture. This is your technical picture. If you see data factory here, this is your data factory. If you see internally, you will find this picture. This is the internal which you are going to develop. You require link services, you require data sets, you require activities, you require services, you require pipeline to develop. This is the internal picture of this one. Okay, so we are going to discuss practically this complete picture in tomorrow's class. So I'm going to give you this complete picture design, how to take the data factory, how to connect the sources, how to load the data. Then also we'll see one example how to analyze the data in Power BI. The practical session I'll show you in tomorrow's class. This is completely theoretical today. To understand the BI process, if you understand this BI process, we can do for practical. This complete picture I'll show you practically in tomorrow's class. Internal part of data factory and high level we're going to design. Okay.
Can ADF load data into other databases like Teradata, some other databases, or it's only SQL?
You can load. There are a lot of sources we have, a lot of target we have. That is for data factory is famous for that only. You have multiple sources, multiple targets. That is not possible in exercise, that is not possible in Informatica. Until unless you use third-party tool, that is not possible. But in data factory, you have that option. Easy way.
I mean, suppose if you have other Google Cloud database or Amazon Cloud database, still we can load there, right?
Still, there are maximum possibility sources that we have. I'll show in tomorrow's class. Maximum possibilities. Maximum possibilities. All the sources are there. Oracle, SAP, MongoDB. Many sources are there. What are the sources? You will get in the tomorrow's class. Okay.
Is ADF is an upgraded version of SSIS or it's completely different?
Upgraded.
I mean,
yes. Upgraded.
only thing is we have advantage of cloud and right.
No, it is not like that. It is not like that. Cloud, not you cannot say just upgraded in the cloud. No, there are a lot of features we have. Lot of features in data factory with in terms of sources, in terms of target, in terms of destinations. Many sources that we have. Structured data process, semi-structured, unstructured. Many things are overcome in the data factory. That is not possible in at all in SSIS. If you want to use SSIS, there is a third-party tools called Task Factory or Zappizis. So we have to pay some third-party company. These are the some extensions. So these are some extensions. If you see, if you want to use this kind of sources, then you have to use some power pack of SSIS. So we are not going to use this kind of third party. That is what Microsoft come across all these kind of connections, connectivities in easy way, drag and drop features. Already connections are built. You just need to understand the component. You need to understand how it works. That's more enough. You can easily drag and you can process it.
If you know ADF, can we easily manage SSIS also in this picture? Like, is there a smaller part of ADF?
Yes, definitely. I'm going to cover SSIS also.
Okay.
I'm going to take some sessions on SSIS. Then we go for data factory. As data factory parent tool is SSIS. Data factory
Because
is individual tool. It is a depend on SSIS. That means SSIS built first. From last 20 years, we are using it. This tool. Now data factory market. You can think it is a just structured data. It is processing from last 20 years. People are using like anything, like salaries or anything. But for data factory, which supports different sources, different data, it may be structured, semi-structured, unstructured, and different number of sources, number of targets that we have. So you can think completely next to 15-20 years, it will, and upon that, it will do a market. Okay, there are a lot of features we have in data factory. That is what people are from AWS, people are from GCP. Why they are moving to the Azure? The only reason is for ETL. Other services they also can find there. If you want to see Databricks, they can see in the AWS, you can see in the GCP, they can see in the Azure. But most of the things people are moving towards is for ETL process. But
Migrating from SSIS to ADF is people they will be there, or again they need to rebuild the code manually. How we do
two approach, 2 to 3 approach. If already companies are using SSIS, right now people are migrating to the data factory. This is also you have to work in real time if you know data factory. So this people already is a scratch project. They are working on ETL. Or people already developed from last 3 years. You have to support them. Just modifications.
I mean, can we just export some extra code to ADF and still it will work? In that, doing some minor modifications, or
Yes,
we need
yes,
to.
it will work. It will work. That I'll show you practically in tomorrow's class. You can see. Okay.
And one
Pavan
more
sir, good
thing
morning. This is Navin.
Yes.
Sir, did you ever worked on this unstructured data?
Yeah, unstructured data means like we have used some kind of in real time we use other formats of data like raw data you have, JSON data you have. Those data we worked.